It never fails. Whenever I post anything about legislation that's moving forward that has to do with nurse to patient ratios or protections or anything for inpatient acute care nurses and facilities, I get inundated with comments and messages from long term care nurses saying, "What about us? Does this include long term care? Why are we always left out? What about long term care?" Okay, now there are some that have put in the work, all right? This doesn't apply to everybody. But by and large, my response to you is going to be, why is it that long term care never gets involved? Okay? Because the legislation that's moving forward is because nurses have put in the work. They're boots on the ground, putting in the work for years, right? They're out there meeting with their legislators. They're organizing. They're going on strike because they've put in the work to unionize, and they have legal representation, and they're asserting their rights, and they are out there at hearings testifying for, like they have put in the work to get the legislation to the point that it's at, to move it forward. All right. I don't see that from long-term care nurses. Again, there are exceptions. I have seen some of you out there doing it, but by and large, my response to you is going to be, why are you not getting involved? Why do I not see long-term care nurses putting in the work to organize, to unionize, to push for legislation, to get involved? Because until you do that, you can't expect there to be the legislation, right? And it's also impractical for you to expect that legislation bills that are written to address inpatient acute care settings are going to be applicable to long-term care. It's not, because it's different, right? It's different. Now, that being said, you need it in long-term care, probably worse, more so than we need it in acute care, right? Because it's bad in long-term care, right? I'm not negating that at all. But stop with the, why does it never include long-term care when you have never gotten involved yourself? All right, organize, put in the work.